RGB Sconce in Context, exploring the creation of Alan Phelan's sculpture. Sculpture Dublin is a Dublin City Council initiative which aims to raise awareness for Dublin's sculptural heritage and is commissioning 6 new sculptures across Dublin. 5 of these public sculptures will be permanently installed in each of Dublin City Council's local administrative areas. An additional temporary sculpture is commissioned for the O'Connell Plinth here outside City Hall. Dublin-based artist Alan Phelan won the commission with his fascinating sculpture, RGB Sconce, Hold Your Nose. Alan produced his artwork in the sculpture workshop of Fire Station Artist Studios.
I'm Alan Phelan, I'm an artist. My practice is kind of really broad in terms of what I do, so it's not just one medium. I tend to pick up on ideas and just use whatever medium I feel best expresses that particular idea. So I was interested in this particular commission site because it was temporary, and it also has a lot of architectural references that I was really interested in. In the initial proposal, I had wanted to work with people on the project, but because of the COVID restrictions, I had to kind of figure out a different way of making it. And initially it was all paper and steel, but in developing the project through the second stage, I decided to make these large 3D printed forms and then cover them in paper, which added stability for its outdoor location for the year duration that it's going to be up anyway. The sconce, or the candle holder, which is the sculpture, came from a random image on a social media feed. This particular image that was posted was just of an 18th century French Rococo sconce, a 2-candle holder, and I just thought it looked really interesting and I'd hold it for later. When this commission came up, with the building being an 18th century building, the time kind of slots really well together. It's also a very thin vertical site, so to maximize that particular side of the building, it required, I think, something that could kind of fill it as much as possible and be seen over the walls and all the rest of the other bits of architecture that are around it. I had modelled up a version of the drawing in Fimo clay, which is that polymer oven clay that kids use to make jewellery out of, and had made that for the application process. So that was a maquette. The process of making the work is that the maquette is scanned in, then that's printed. That printing took 3 months or so. The printer from 3D Ireland Printing squeezes out bits that are about 1 metre in size. So the initial part is just assembling the sculpture to the steel frame and then covering it in paper, in coloured paper. What it does is it smooths out all the very craggy surfaces that you get from the 3D printer, which are in themselves really beautiful. You've got this beautiful contouring effect because the plastic is layered down, bit by bit. But I really wanted it to be smooth. What I really want for the paper to do is to make the sculpture look slightly inflatable or look like plasticine. So it returns back to the material it was originally made of, which is this clay. So the temporary nature of the sculpture commission meant that I had to think about the materials in a very specific way. So the PLA plastic is actually biodegradable. And the paper, obviously, is something that would just burn away or melt away. And then the glues that I've used, they're all water-based. So I've tried to use as little solvent-related material as possible, so to reduce that kind of toxicity. But also what the 3D printing process means is that I've eliminated a huge fiberglass phase, a silicone phase, and a very large modelling phase. Something that's more permanent would be made of bronze or marble. So by me using these plastic and paper materials, it kind of references a more temporary, playful, celebratory, parade-like or agitprop protest-like materiality and circumstances that bring something else to the work. And it's something that's happened under a whole range of different circumstances, which is basically the pandemic. So it's something that's began on my kitchen table, then got 3D scanned, printed out over 3 months, blind to me because I wasn't able to go to the printing place to see how they were getting on, and then assembled as soon as restrictions were lifted so that I could access the Fire Station Studios where we are now. That didn't happen until June, but that's the nature of this particular time we live in. I think it's part and parcel of that becomes part of how people might take meaning from it.
This is one of a series of videos exploring Alan Phelan's sculpture. To view the whole series, please visit sculpturedublin.ie.